Hey guys, this is John the Verbose, and I'm out of breath because I just biked here. This is the YTpaganChallenge video for week 23 on what is your diet and how does your diet affect your spirituality. That's not the exact phrasing of it, but that's one way of looking at it. Disclaimer. Let's use my pre-recorded one while I catch my breath.
I am John the Verbose. I am a druid in the Reformed Druids of North America. I do not speak on behalf of all druids, nor do I speak on behalf of the Reformed Druids. Druidism is highly subjective, and these views are my own interpretations.
One thing that I have observed with my fellow druids is that, I actually don't think I've ever met a vegetarian druid, or a vegan druid for that matter. For the most part, there's a lot of celebration over meat. I'm inclined to be of that mindset as well. Yes, I answer the calling of my inner omnivore. Though, in ritual, as a Reformed Druid, animal and human sacrifice is forbidden. So that is one of the things that makes a Reformed Druid Reformed, is that in a ritual setting, we do not sacrifice animals. To do so would be very unreformed. Ooh, big floating sponge of moss. Go be moss somewhere else. Reformed Druids in particular tend to be pacifists. I do know some Reformed Druids who are veterans and who have served in the military. For some of them, given that their age would have probably placed them in the Vietnam era, I don't know if they were serving in the military by choice. But yes, we tend to be pacifists. Plant sacrifice is allowed, though it's interesting that for those who are empathic, if they said that they can experience the pain that a tomato feels when they hear it screaming to them as they slice through it, that always made me think twice about the sentience or feelings of plants. Of everything that we eat, it's like, do we only have concern for the cute ones with eyes that look at you and judge you? But, I mean, plants can be pretty judgmental as well. I'll never forget the time that I was saying hello to some oak trees in a park, and one of them that I put a hand on to say hello, I took my hand off it right away because of the message that I got from it, all in an instant. It was a very ornery oak tree, to say the least. And I was like, okay, I'm going to leave you alone forever. I will never bother you again unless you are calling out. It's like, come commune with nature. Plants have feelings too. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna eat everything, even bugs. Because I do look to see if my food has been messed with, tampered with by corporations and geneticists and people who are going in and tweaking genes and manipulating the DNA. I actually do have a list at home of food companies that use Monsanto or other big evil GMO companies, and that's a huge list, and it's really hard to just boycott all these frankenfoods and stuff. But I know in Imbolc we tend to use heavy cream as our sacramental beverage, whereas like in the summer half of the year it's typically whiskey, and at Imbolc it's very different. And the cream that I tend to look for is something that's organic. I try not to use stuff that's been messed with or literally manufactured. But along the same vein, if you think about it, isn't whiskey manufactured? So, I mean, yeah, there are plenty of contradictions. It is a real gray area for me, and I think for many people. And it's okay to have these gray areas. We don't have to be black and white in every situation. It's not all or nothing. And I mean, as long as we're making a conscious effort to minimize our impact on the world. And personally, I do think that we should really try to limit the amount of beef that we're taking in. But I heard, like, to produce a pound of turkey, it takes significantly less energy than it would to make a pound of beef. So it's like cattle do have a significant impact on the environment, but I do not call for the cessation of all cattle meat products, because that sounds like we're calling for genocide of cattle, because there are many species of domesticated animals that would not survive without their dependency on humans. And yes, we could probably find a way to, over the long term, like re-engineer them back into wild animals. But then it's like it comes down to the idea of animal population control. There are plenty of druids I know who are also hunters. If anything, it's like they try to use as much of their kill as they can, and from food to, it becomes part of their tools, their ritual items. Oh, and as an addendum to the whole animal sacrifice thing among druids, I had a few conversations with some Celtic Reconstructionists who, in their practice, they do sacrifice animals from time to time. And so, and not just Celtic Reconstructionists. I know that there are heathens out there that still do this, but it's like ever since I've had this dialogue with these people that were practicing things that I was opposed to, we came to an understanding, and where it's like I still generally disagree with it, but it's a requirement of their tradition, so I'm not gonna like harp on them for that. So, but if they wanted to do a Reformed Druid ritual, it's like no sacrifice of animals is allowed. Sure, let's sacrifice all the plants we want. Hear them scream, feel them suffer and die in our hands. I'm rambling. It's really pretty, and I'm exhausted from my bike ride out here, and I have to go back now. But this video was a lot longer than I intended it to be, so thank you for watching, and we will see you next week.